A 7 Eyewitness News viewer is demanding answers after he says his dog swallowed toxic materials in his backyard. He says those materials were left behind earlier this month by a Verizon utility worker.
So we started making some calls, and as 7 Eyewitness News reporter Jill Perkins explains, Verizon is now stepping up to help save this dog's life.
Gabriel and Kelsey Lulo are taking their very sick dog to Ithaca for an emergency blood transfusion. But 6-year-old Cedar, an English Springer Spaniel that the couple got when he was just a pup, is sick and fighting for his life because of what they call reckless actions of a Verizon utility worker.
There's just wires laying on the ground.
These wires are still in the Lulo's backyard. Gabriel showed them to us today, and in this bag,
this is the actual wire that came out of him.
You can see it.
Yeah.
The metal through there.
And the metal's right there.
The wires, he says, his dog swallowed, then threw up. Cedar has been on an IV for the last several days.
We have already spent thousands of dollars on just where we're at right now. We're trying to save costs, and our veterinarian is actually recommending us to go to Cornell University. And this is literally our last-ditch effort to save his life. Also left behind in the backyard, the family says, were these tools. So what is Verizon saying?
We were made aware of the situation with your dog.
We were there as Gabriel listened to a voicemail from Verizon. The company later agreed to pay up to $5,000 for Cedar's blood transfusion and said a crew will be coming to their house tomorrow to see what materials were left and why. But tonight, these pet owners are hoping to warn others to be careful and cautious if utility workers come to their homes.
We've had him for the last 6 years since he was born, so it really, we want to do everything we possibly can to save him because we feel that it's an unfair situation what's going on, especially not his fault.
Right now, Cedar is at Cornell, but it's still unclear if this procedure will actually be able to save his life. In the meantime, though, Jeff, a GoFundMe account has been set up for anybody out there who wants to help to see that this dog gets the treatment that it needs.
Now, Jill, in the wake of this incident, we wanted to figure out who would be held responsible if this happened to really anyone's dog. So earlier this evening, we reached out to a local attorney and found out the owner could take Verizon to small claims court for vet bill reimbursement. But under New York state law, pets are considered personal property. That means if a dog were to die as a result of an incident like this, the only settlement an owner can receive is the fair market value of the dog, which makes cases like this even more challenging.
Regardless of how strongly people may feel about their animal, the dog is just personal property, and like I said, it's just like a chattel. It's just like a car or a table. I think I remember seeing a case where it called it just some property. So that's what the limit is.
Russin says in most cases, companies like Verizon will try and work with families and reach a personal settlement before it even heads to court.